a very brief understanding of what risk actually is. And that's actually a really, really important thing. Now, from my point of view, risk is actually just the potential of negative impact based on a current decision. And the important thing here is the key word, which is potential, meaning that risk is something that is only related to the future. And if it has happened historically, it's not a risk anymore, it's a realization. And many people actually miss that detail unless they've been playing around with this for quite a while. And that has pretty deep implications on the inference of what the models are actually telling you and how you fit them and all that kind of stuff. Now, typically in quant finance, there are 4 different areas: derivatives, portfolio optimization, risk management, and pattern recognition. Now, please jump in if you believe that there are more areas, but I'm just trying to keep it simple here. Now, derivatives is really, really interesting. They're all quite different also in nature, those 4 areas. Derivatives is more of a physics-based type of approach where you kind of have an idea of how you're supposed to price an asset. And based on its relation to other assets, you actually infer or you generate formulas, closed form formulas called the Black-Scholes formulas. They are very, very mechanical. Like there's not much statistics going on here. Now we go into portfolio theory, which is really just about the optimization of how you hold your assets in a portfolio. And the issue here is really that you're trying to find good ways of diversification through choosing the right weights to enhance your risk-adjusted returns. Now, one really interesting anecdote here is that when you're looking at the risk in terms of portfolio theory, you're not looking actually at the volatility of the asset, but you're actually looking at the potential risk of you getting your expectation of the asset wrong, which is not necessarily the same thing. Now, one way of looking at that is, imagine if you're actually investing with 2 different people, one of them that is a really good oil trader, and the other one which is a really, really bad fixed income trader. Now, if you're trying to create a portfolio optimization model of this thing, your risk to the good oil trader is actually going to be lower than your risk to the really bad fixed income trader, because the oil trader is probably going to get it right. Now, that's again, it's another interesting anecdote that needs to be taken into account in the models, and it'll have implications for a few things that I'm going to talk about later on. Now, risk management, which is a really, really big field. Here, it's really about estimating the risks of a portfolio, and we're talking about tail risks. Now, the issue with this is that tail events just don't happen particularly often, and they just don't repeat themselves, which is why many of the current or the new methodologies that are being used are so interesting. And I'll touch upon those soon.